Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to more Insurgency Sandstorm. And today I thought we'd move on. We've done a lot of weapons guides on assault rifles. Today I thought we'd move on and look at some of the SMGs in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to kick off the series today with the good old P90. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Let's do it! The P90 is a reliable SMG, and you'll get it in many shooter games, and I certainly have used it in the past. It is pretty versatile, reasonably lightweight, and yeah, up close generally it absolutely fries. It's described as a compact bullpup design with integrated reflex sight and fully ambidextrous controls. Oh, that's a big word. The P90 is an unconventional weapon with a futuristic appearance. Its design incorporates several innovations such as a unique top-mounting magazine and a small caliber, high velocity 5.7 times 28mm ammunition. Additional integral features include the interchangeable visible or infrared laser and a titanium light source. So, quite nice. It looks quite different to any other SMG that you pretty much have seen before. P90 is currently in service with the military and police forces in 40 nations all over the world, including Austria, Brazil, Canada, France, Greece, India, Malaysia, Poland, and the good old United States of America. And yeah, it's probably testament to how good this weapon is in the fact that it is also used by law enforcement as well as the military. So let's hop over to the range and let's see what the P90 looks like in Insurgency Sandstorm and how it handles. And I'll give you my own personal opinion once we get the loadouts done. Okay, so let's look at the stats on the P90 and then we'll compare it to some of the other SMGs and then we'll do the fun stuff. So it's calibered in 5.7 by 28mm. The fire rate is 857, so it's pretty high. Velocity of 715 mils per second, and the penetration is quite low at 241. Recoil is quite balanced, although it's quite high, horizontal at 26 and vertical recoil at 22. It has a mag capacity of 50 rounds and 2 fire modes, which is quite nice. So 50 rounds is quite generous, I think, as a mag capacity. So the ammunition type, the 5.7 by 28mm, is spot on for what the gun does in real life. But the interesting thing about this was that NATO commissioned FN Herschel from Belgium to produce this caliber in replacement for the 9x 19mm Parabella ammunition. So in Insurgency Sandstorm, this caliber for this gun is quite unique. I couldn't find another SMG that had the same caliber. So for this next comparison, we're going to run through and compare it against what it replaced effectively, which is the 9x 19mm Parabella ammunition. So let's go down the chart. We can ignore the caliber for now because, as I said, there isn't another gun that has this caliber of ammunition. So let's have a look at the fire rate. The P90 is 857 rounds per minute. MP5A5 is 800. Uzi is 600, and the Sterling Mosin Nagant is 500. So it's one of the highest firing SMGs for the kind of comparable caliber of ammunition. The velocity is 715 meters per second, sorry. And again, that is fairly high. All the others are around the 400, so the velocity is much faster. It is also top of the class in penetration. If you look at the penetration of the MP5 Uzi and the Sterling, they're all around the 177 mark there, 177. Sterling is even lower than 168. So again, this all the stats here stack up pretty much in the favor of the P90. When we come to the horizontal and vertical recoil patterns, though, they are much lower on the other SMGs, and you might find that the other SMGs might give you a little bit more control. Although what you generally see on all the SMGs is that the recoil patterns, whether it be horizontal and vertical, are very close together, whether they're high or low. You can see on the P90 it is 26 and 22, MP5 is 19 and 17, the Uzi is 16 and 16, so that's pretty well balanced. And then the Sterling is 18 and 17, so they're all pretty well balanced on that. P90 is the highest recoil. So interestingly enough, the ammo capacity is 50, and there, as you're about to see by the setup, there isn't really extended mags, so that's pretty much locked in. But it's much higher than any of the other SMGs that we show you here. So 50 is pretty nice, and if you put a heavy ammo carrier on, you get 7 mags of 50, which is very generous in my estimation. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I love the P90 so much. A lot of ammo to burn through if you need it. Okay, so let's go and shoot this against the wall, just see what it looks like, and then we'll do a little bit of a setup on it. Okay, so we're using our new piece of wall that we showed you last week with the G3, and we're just going to hip fire it first of all. It's pretty all over the place. Wow, it goes a fair way up to the ceiling, doesn't it? Okay, let's aim down sight and see if it improves it. Yeah, it's pretty much vertical. There's a little bit of side to side bounce, but not a huge amount, I wouldn't say. Not for not compared to some other guns. We if you play around with the sticks, you can actually hold it without any attachment. You can hold it quite neatly on the spot. Okay, so let's add some attachments to it and see what it does. So this is generally the setup I use. Of course, the optic, it's up to you what you want to use here. We've gone through this so many times. Just up to you what optic you want to use. Generally, I use I've been used to using the holographic on this, so we'll put the holographic on. I generally put the compensator on. The underbarrel, surprisingly enough, I don't use the recoil grip on this gun. I use the aiming grip, and that's pretty much all I use on this gun. Those 3 attachments there. Of course, if you want to do some, we've spoke about this in the past. If you want to do some hip firing, fine, put the laser on. It's a couple of points. The gun does cost 5 points, so up to you. We'll put the chrome aesthetic on it if we can. That's a DLC weapon, but you can see there isn't much difference as far as the stats go in this gun, but we'll see how it looks in a sec once we reconfigure it. Okay, we've got all the attachments on. Let's just see what it does. As I said, this gun's pretty controllable. With if you use your stick, you can pretty much keep it on point. I'm pretty much going side to side and then a little bit down as that's firing to keep it under control. Pretty much I push my right stick down and to the left, and you can see you can pretty much keep it on point. So pretty fun little gun. Let's run around and see what it does down on the range. But obviously that's in full auto, so to get that kind of precision in full auto is pretty nice. Look at this. This is full auto. This is not single fire. Single fire is like on point. Look at this. Single fire's on point. Bang. Pretty nice. Doesn't move in single fire. So yeah, pretty nice little gun. I love running around with this gun, and as far as range goes, it's pretty nice. It actually can hit things at a pretty good range without too much of a drama. So there you go, guys. There is the first in the SMG category that I'm going to cover. If this is much more to your playstyle, where you're much more of a run and gun, a little bit more of an aggressive player in the game, then you might consider this. It'll be interesting to see how this stacks up against some of the more well-known SMGs in the game, but I've played with this quite a bit and I love it. I really enjoy playing with this gun, and I don't see any downsides to whether it's up close or whether it's a little bit further away, etc, etc. Okay, that's it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, a like rating is always appreciated. We have a huge amount of Insurgency Sandstorm tips and tricks videos on the channel, so if you haven't checked those out yet, be sure to check them out. If you want to keep up to date on these, make sure you've got the subscription button hit and the notification bell on, and we'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. Oh, see ya.